If your e-com brand is doing decent numbers, but every single dollar is coming from Meta ads, then you're one bad week away from losing everything. I know because I ran a store myself and I was fully dependent on Meta. Even having very low COGS, my margins were really bad, and it was the moment when I understood that I need actually a second revenue channel. That's why I went deep into doing email marketing, and I reached to the point where I've taken brands from doing nothing from email to generating 200K a month in extra revenue. I also helped this brand owner to go from 20K email revenue to $200K in 60 days, and what he was actually able to scale because I squeezed the shit out of his traffic that he already had. So in this video, I'm going to show you the exact step-by-step setup that we do in 2026 that you will be able to copy paste it and just do it by your own. So let's get into it. So why email is the most slept on channel in e-commerce right now, and actually no one is really talking about it. The first thing is that it's your warmest audience. You know, people on your email list already gave you their contact or they bought at least once, and it's just really stupid to ignore those people because they were interested, something maybe stopped them from buying, and you just, ignored it. You should give an additional push and it can easily convert them. Okay, so the second thing is second revenue channel. Having a second revenue channel is logically better than having one because you have traffic from Meta ads, and email funnel really helps to convert that traffic because, for example, someone came from, Meta ads, they saw the product, they went to the website, they were actually interested and they left. How are you going to remind them without email? So that's why emails actually exist. You can easily educate them more, remind them, and easily again convert them. The third thing is that sending an email costs almost nothing, which means that return of investment on email is just illegally high. You just only need to pay for the Klaviyo subscription and that's it. And the last thing is email frequency. So actually top brands like Buy, Press, Groons, they send emails almost every day. And if you're actually serious about your brand, you should also send at least 3 to 4 emails per week because your competitors most likely are also sending emails and they have a huge advantage. Okay, so the whole game plan starts with a warm-up process and it normally takes from 2 to 3 weeks. It depends on your brand. If your deliverability sucks right now, I actually recommend you running it for 3 weeks. If not, then 2 weeks will be fine. And first of all, you really need to have a solid pop-up. I normally use Alia. That's an app for the pop-ups, and it actually generates a very high sign-up rate, which allows me to drive a large amount of traffic into email automations. And as you can see, for some brands it brings like 15% sign-up rate, for others 35+%. It really differs from brand to brand, but what you should expect is at least like 11+% sign-up rate. It's a game changer for the warm-up process and just email attribution in general because higher is the sign-up rate, more people you're able to send to your email funnel, and logically more opens and more sales. Now I wanna show you one of the most important things that you should follow when running the warm-up, and it's double opt-in. You have to turn on that function for 2-3 weeks while you run the warm-up, and after you finish it, you just turn it off. And what's the purpose of the double opt-in? When a customer signs up through the pop-up, the first email they receive is a confirmation email, and it's gonna look like this. And the idea of the double opt-in is to filter your customers, so only genuinely interested people will receive your emails, and it will basically help us to achieve very high open rates, and that's our aim for the warm-up process. Okay, so how to actually turn on the double opt-in function on Klaviyo? It's like really easy. You just go to the list and segments tab, then you click email list and you go to settings, right? You go to settings and there is also a tab consent, and here you will see opt-in process. Choose how people subscribe to this list and you just choose double opt-in here. Pretty easy, and then you click save, and that's all. So how that chain looks like, basically sign up in the pop-up, double opt-in, basically verification, making sure that it's an interested person, and then interested people open our emails and our open rates are very high. And so once your pop-up is ready, you should turn on these 3 automations, and every automation should include only 1 email. Why? Because people open the most first emails in every flow, and we will show inbox providers that on average our open rates are very high and we'll get the trust from them. So the pop-up, 3 important flows and double opt-in function are in place, and that's only 50% of the whole process. Other 50%, which will give us a huge push for the warm-up, is you should send email campaigns to people who engaged with your emails recently, instead of blasting campaigns to the entire list. And that's actually a mistake that a lot of people are making. You should segment your list and target people who have engaged within the last 30 days at the warm-up process. Remember it. So when it's the warm-up process, you should send it only to people who engaged the last 30 days. Once the warm-up is finished, you should increase the engaged list and make it 60, 90, or even 120 days, because the purpose of sending campaigns after the warm-up is to make more money, logically, right? But when it's the warm-up process, you should just pump up your open rates. Okay, so how to actually segment your list and send campaigns properly when you are doing a warm-up and after the warm-up is done. So basically you need to go to the tab audience here and click list and segments. Here you just click create on the right top corner, and between these two you should choose segment, because we need a dynamic group of profiles. Here we click on someone has done or not done something. So we just create a trigger here, and you can see at least once in the last 30 days. So we need to create a trigger of what someone has done. We choose opened email. So it means someone opened email at least once in the last 30 days. So what I hugely recommend you, if you just run a warm up for the store that is brand new, or that you had like huge problems with deliverability before and you want to bounce it back, I just really recommend you to put it here 7 days and send campaigns for like 2 to 3 weeks to the segment of people engaged last 7 days, because it will bring you like, you know, 80% open rates, which is like amazing for the warm-up, and you will easily bounce back and your email is going to start, you know, going to the main inbox, not to spam. But after the warm-up is done, of course you need volume, so you need to make the list bigger. What I do pretty often, like normally, and it's must-have for me, I send 90 days engaged. That's basically the segment of campaigns that I pretty often do. But you can play around and you can even put like 120 days, 90 days. You just need to A/B test it for your brand, for your own brand, because the difference is that for some brands, people are still interested in the product. For example, one product stores, it's a bit different picture, but must have is 90 days, so you can just go for 90 days and not think too much. And yeah, basically here, yeah, we just click create a segment, right? Okay, so let's call it engaged 90 days, right? We create a segment, and yeah, basically the segment is created. We just create a campaign and send it to that segment. Let me actually show you how the warm-up process looked for us. I'm gonna just go to campaigns, and you can see basically the open rates. These campaigns we sent to people who engaged the last 7 days. Yeah, and you can see the numbers, you know, 86%, 87, 88. That's just like really good, because it fully warms up your deliverability and your open rate is gonna just fly up, and basically inbox provider is gonna start trusting you, and you will finally start making money from emails. So after the whole warm-up is done, you should just plug in all these flows. These are the most important ones. I personally also add email flows like a survey flow, or for example a delivery flow and more, but I will talk about automations and flows in details in another video. So basically I showed you what everyone gatekeeps, and now you can do the whole email foundation on your own. And honestly, we are running that whole strategy already for 1 year for our private clients, and it brought additional $10 million in revenue from emails. We take a small number of brands because we really want to give a full attention to every brand that we work with, and I'm honestly just really tired of seeing agencies that are having like 100 clients at the same time, but they are not able to provide a real value. So if you're an e-commerce brand owner which is making real revenue and you really want to squeeze the maximum from your traffic that you already have, then click the link in bio and let's see if we are a good match. See you on the next video.